Hi, my name is Erica Calloway, and this is going to be one of my first videos. I'm going to be introducing my no-buy half year. So for the first 6 months out of the year, January 2022, I started by introducing some of the concepts that I have here, but doing it in a way where I wanted to figure out where my mistakes were, where I could work on things better, and trying to kind of track the way that I'm spending my money, um, and how I can be more conscious of the way I spend my money and also my morals behind that, and teaching myself to stick to a certain routine. One of the things that I learned from doing my half year of a low buy, not recording it, was literally just by tracking it. I noticed that I tend to, once I find something that's really new and exciting, I tend to want to go try that. And if I can't try that thing, or it's like too expensive, or it's out of my reach in any way, then I tend to get I say like the cheaper version of it, or the way to get that satisfaction quicker. Sorry, my dog. Hi, Bubba. I swear. I swear. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Alright, Posey. Huh? Posey. Yeah. Okay. You close enough now? Okay. So, yeah, I would try to get that instant gratification, to try that thing as fast as I could, right? Without really, taking the time to figure out if I really want that thing and if it would suit my lifestyle. So, the regardless, I can get into that low buy year. If you have questions about it, I can get into that later on. If you do have a question, you can leave a comment and let me know, and I can make a separate video on the low buy year I did with tracking and how I did that. So again, let's go back to the no buy half year. So we're starting in July, and I'll be able to update you at the end of July and give you a breakdown and show you things that I bought and if they were necessary, or if they were just a want. So first, I'm gonna just go by and tell you I have my paper here. It has all my rules on it, how I will spend my time, yada yada, and I'll just go through that with you right now. So the things that I will be purchasing are needs and refill purchases, things that I already know work for my routine, that I'm going to purchase again. And if I have a certain need, depending on, I travel for, well, basically my boyfriend and I travel for a living, and I'll be living in different areas. I think we'll be here, right now we're in Alberta, Canada. We'll probably be here for maybe 6 months. Okay, so those things that are going to be needs and refill purchases are bills, car maintenance, diesel fuel. We have a truck. It'll also need DEF, subscriptions like Netflix, or any kind of supplements, that kind of thing, dog food, groceries, fixing repairs, allowances, things that I will allow myself to buy based on my no buy rules, medical and dental self-care items, things that soothe your soul, or things that you do to make you happy, and or what I do to make myself happy and content and able to, be a part of this world and not feel sad, lonely, those kind of things. I'll go into detail what those are later on. Vitamins, supplements, and allergy medications. So those things are going to be refillable, repurchased, and they are needs. Allowances are going to be replacing worn out clothing or not. If I feel I can do without it, or it is no longer necessary for my lifestyle or my preferences. So some things you buy, you keep repurchasing, and then you take it away and you realize, I don't really need that. So you don't purchase it again, and you realize that you can do without that. So things like, for me, I'm kind of addicted to merino wool and linens this year. Have made my capsule wardrobe, if you want to say it's a capsule wardrobe, because I'm only allowed one suitcase of clothing because we travel with everything in our truck. So yeah, one suitcase of clothing. Those kind of things last me and are easy to maintain. Um, Things that I will allow, I really, really want a knife set. One thing is, like, I cook in a hotel room or an Airbnb, or some hotel rooms don't have a kitchen at all, and it's really nice to have just equipment that you can rely on to cook if you want to make healthy meals, or you just don't like eating out. Like I just don't. I'm a person that I'm a foodie, and I don't like to be I don't like to be let down by my food, especially when I'm hungry. I know that I can make that thing at home, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the process. I enjoy the meal afterward. I'd rather make it myself. So having a knife set would be great. Particularly a petty knife, utility, and a bread knife, and also some type of maybe a stone sharpener, like a whetstone. Another thing is I will allow is broken tech items that cannot be fixed. Um, I don't use a lot of techie stuff. I'm not a tech person, so we'll see how that goes the rest of this year. My phone definitely is one of those things that I'm recording on right now, and it's very, very cracked. Um, the case is the front side of it and the back side of it, so that probably will be replaced if it gets one too many drops. Another last item for allowances is items on my list for capsule wardrobe. So I create a list of tops, bottoms, pajamas, even like down to socks or hair tools, or just like everything that I would use on my body. I curate a list of those wants, and I will color code them and see, like, am I thinking about that thing 2 weeks later? Am I thinking about that thing a month later? And will it actually be appropriate to something that would suit my lifestyle and actually use, rather than, oh, this is my idealistic version of myself and will make me look good for that one outfit, but I won't actually wear it with anything else. So those items I'm working through, and I'll be able to share that with you in a separate video of capsule wardrobe and what that is for me for each season, and how I update that for my lifestyle. So how I change the things that I have and use them for my lifestyle. So the next one are my no buy things that will not buy. Those items. Posey. Rue. Thank you, Papa. Merci. Those are decorative plants, makeup, experimental makeup, meaning like something that I'm like, oh, I watched a video and I think I need that, or it would be really nice to have this thing, but do you really wear makeup that often to use it up before its expiration? That kind of thing. Like, I don't really think I would go through. My main choice is Bare Minerals, and it's all loose powders and stuff like that. So, or Lima Pure, all loose powders, and it lasts a long time for usage, and also like it also lasts a long time based on its expiration date. So think about those kind of things. But there's something I do want for makeup, but I don't know if it's really necessary yet. Okay, so another thing is experimental. Oh, I already went experimental makeup. Large kitchen gadgets. I have a couple of things. I can make a video about that as well. I have a couple of things in my life that work for me for my needs of cooking. Things that I like to make over and over again, or things that are just cheaper to make at home, like making your own beans from dried to finished product, like things like that, or making pickled onions or condiments, those kind of things. You can make those, and it might be a little bit easier because you'll have a smaller quantity of it, or you'll have a taste, a seasoning, or a style of making it that just works for you and your diet. Another thing is hair tools. I literally use these things. I use my hands mostly to detangle, and I have one brush. Right? I really am thinking about this special brush, but I don't think it's necessary for me. It probably won't work. I probably won't like it, but it's in my mind to. It's on my list because it's in my mind. It's been in my mind for like 2 years. So I'm just like, ooh, I wonder if I'll actually get used to that. Okay. Experimental skincare. I really have been getting better at my routines this year because I started my low buy, and Also during this low buy, I noticed that my eczema was really flaring up this year. And I hadn't experienced that since I was a kid. I thought I didn't experience that. But there's actually signs in my life that I've had it for a long time and I haven't really noticed or been working on to repair that, or how to treat it, how to work with it, and do my best, do my part. So I don't want to go out of what works for me. I want to stick to that routine. And I also have hormonal acne. So things like that, I just want to stick to my routine, stick with what works for me, so I don't get any flare-ups. Or flare-ups might happen anyway. I don't know. I'm not a person who is well versed in that kind of thing. No face towels. The thing is, like, I I buy a lot of reusable face towels, and sometimes they just get really messed up by the way that you treat them. So one thing I'm also learning with having a capsule wardrobe or not buying anything or low buying things is that you have to maintain what you do have, and work hard to nurture your items so that they do last longer. So I don't want to buy any more. I have a whole baggie of them. I don't want to buy no more. Similar jewelry items to what I already own. I have gauges, but I also like to wear hoops, like gold hoops, silver hoops. Rue. Easy. I also like to wear lots of rings, that kind of thing. But I have rings from when I was literally 20 years old, 19 years old to now, and I think that's good for now. I'm good with where I'm at, and next year if I feel like I want to purchase something or I want to do a little by year or something like that, I'll do that later. But this year I'm good on that. I want to stick with what I have, and I like the way that I'm keeping those things. The next one is large outdoor gear. I like to camp seasonally. I like to camp like once to like 3 or 4 times a season, and that's all the seasons, and that depends on where I'm at as well. So I need different gear for different things, but and it's just me. I just camp with my dog, or just by myself. So I don't want to buy anything bigger this year because I kind of got everything to fit in one bag. But I also think I want to think good and hard about the things that I want on my list and see if they're necessary. And the last one is home decor. Living and traveling on a road, certain things make you feel at home. It may be a scent, it may be a color, it may be having like a knickknack or a trinket from somewhere that you like to put up. And some of those things are large and some of those things are small. Figuring out how to keep them safe while you're traveling, and also not to have too much clutter, because you want to feel good in any environment that you're placed in, and your living arrangement is always going to be different. There's not going to be that side table to put something. There may not be any tables at all. There may not be a place for that item. So keeping the home decor down, not buying any of that anymore. Okay, so my no buy rules. Number 1, remember necessities first. 2, do I already own something that can accomplish what this new item does? 3, can I make it myself? 4, is it cheaper to make? That also is something that plays a role in trying to be zero waste, or trying to be eco-friendly. Is sometimes when you want to make something yourself, it's not always cheaper, and it's not always something that has less waste. It's almost sometimes easier to buy something that's already pre-made. Number 5, is this item of long-lasting and durable quality? Sometimes we want something but don't realize that it's made out of like a polyester, or it doesn't have great seams on it, and it's not going to last us as long as we really need it to for the price of that item. Number 6, is it cruelty free? Number 7, is the company B certified? Number 8, is the item fair trade? Number 9, does the company have fair wages for employees? Number 10, is the item easily accessible to acquire? When you're traveling, you want something that's easier to replace. If you have a moisturizer and it gets busted, if you have a sunscreen that you really love but you can't purchase it when you're out of the country, so having something that's easy to acquire is important. Number 11, is the item shipped not far from me? We want to keep things kind of locally, or if possible, not shipped from a long distance, like, I don't know, halfway across the world to get to you. Maybe find something that works for you that's closer by. Uh, number number 12. Is there an item similar made with less waste? For me, I've changed up my whole hair care routine to better suit me traveling, but also kind of suit the environment in a better way too. I use having really thick, curly hair, coily hair, kinky hair. Um, you need a lot of conditioner. You need a lot of conditioner, a lot of detangling products and things that you can rely on if you want to go swimming, if you want to go camping, whatever. Things that are maybe fragrance free because you have eczema or any other kinds of skin things, or you just don't want scents. You'd rather spray a perfume than have every piece of your body smell like something different. Uh, those things are important. So I changed up my routine to have solid products instead of having plastic bottles. And if you'd like to see a hair care routine, I'm definitely willing to do that. It's simple. Okay. Number 13. Wait up to 2 weeks to acquire an item that is a want rather than a necessity. So having an item, a wants item list, and having that available to look at anytime you want. I put mine on my phone so I can look at it and see if there are maybe a deal I can get, or is there a coupon I can acquire? Is there something else that's very similar to that item that I can get near me? That kind of thing. So figuring out if something is a necessity for you, something that you'll actually use in your routine and use up. That's important. Number 14, look for coupon sales for items that have been on your list, your wants list, or necessity refill list. So I'm a person that really likes to deal. I like things that are sometimes luxury items, but I don't like to pay the full price for them. It's something like, if you like a brand like Patagonia, Icebreaker, if you like large skincare brands, it's always better when you can save your money and not go without that product for too long. Number 14, that's 14. Number 15, see if you can find a less expensive alternative but equal quality to the product you like. Some things are literally the same exact ingredients as another, and you can get that thing way cheaper than buying something for the brand label. So one thing I did in my low buy year was figuring out high and low ends of skincare options, because some of the things for eczema, even though they're cheaper, they're not also things that will work for you. It really is a thing where you have to try that on your skin and see how you react to it. And sometimes it sucks when you find something that's like, oh my god, this CeraVe product is huge. It's inexpensive, but dang, it doesn't work for my skin. So finding out if you can find cheaper alternatives to what you like or what works for your own routine already. 16, simplify your routine in general. Take time after you finish a product to miss it and see if you actually use and appreciate that product. That's one thing that really helps you and helps me, and it helps curb me from buying more items than I need, or buying an expensive item or a non-expensive item and wasting my money on something that I truly don't need it to put on my body, or don't need in my routine, don't need in my life. That's a waste. And why do it? Okay, so that's all my no buy rules. And the next one is my why. My why for wanting to do this in general. I guess I kind of have a couple. So number one, the top one, my top priority why is to minimize. I started traveling with my boyfriend 5 years ago, and I realized that I'm coming from apartments that I was living with either with my mom or like with my roommates, and you acquire a lot of things because you have the space to have them, and sometimes it's not even something that you like to bring out and look at or use. It's just because you enjoy having that thing, and really, if it was in your life, you probably wouldn't miss it. So that's what I'm trying to do, is go through all of the categories that you have in your life, like home, hair, health, various other categories and figure out how can I minimize these items? How can I minimize the amount of books I have, amount of study items I have? Is there a way to have things in a smaller fashion? Even if they're electronically, is there a way to minimize the things that I have on my phone? These all take your time from you. So figuring out ways to have more time and have more space in life. The next one is to establish routines and stick with them. Not go and do the latest and greatest thing or try the new and latest and greatest thing right off the bat. To stick with what works for you, and if it works for you, don't fix it. Don't fix it. To have less options and more items I trust to work and depend on. That's important to me, is like I want to be able to go anywhere, do anything I want to do, but know that the stuff that I have works for me and it works really, really well. The next one is to enjoy every item I own and know exactly where and why I own that item. Another thing is about having stuff is it sucks when you have all these great things but don't know where they are. So when you have less of them, you really keep track of them because you see them and use them on a daily basis. 2, to have more financial responsibility. So to elaborate on that, it's to teach myself when I make a financial mistake, there are consequences to big purchases. So be sure the next big or small purchase I take my time making. That's one big thing, is that I have a lot of big things that are coming up in my life, and I want to be able to save for those things and know that I'm working towards a goal that actually is necessary. It's not frivolous. And 3 is to save. To save for the unexpected, for experiences I want to have. I want to make my rewards for this no buy things that I'm gonna do or experience, rather than, oh, I'm gonna get this new shiny object, or I'm gonna go get this thing. I don't want it to be something tangible. I want it to be an experience. As simple as that, I guess. The last one is, how will I spend my time? He wants me to throw this bone. Ali. Okay, so how I spend my time. 1, reading. 2, yoga. 3, draw. 4, journal. 5, walk. 6, meditate. 7, call a friend. 8, learn something new. 9, photography. 10, film. 11, edit videos. Because this is something new to me, that's gonna take a minute. 12, hike. 13, run. 14, clean. 16, have a new experience. 17, study. 18, self-care. 19, journal. And 20, research skills I want to learn. Okay, so I thank you all for watching this video, taking the time out of your day to, I don't know, see how someone else is living and what's new with them. And I encourage you to follow me along on this journey, and you're more than welcome to leave a comment in the section below to let me know any ideas you have or interests you have for me to share. All right, thank you, and I hope you have a great day and evening. Bye.